It's Gucci. Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on Live Hip Hop Daily, sponsored by Fronto Republic brand. And I got my next guest in here, Ned Howard. Ned, what's good with you?
What's going on?
Man, ain't nothing. You know, I used to see you all the time at the ABL games when Good Life was out there balling.
Going crazy, right?
Going crazy, man. But I found out later, you know, for those who don't know, Good Life is actually a label down here. Issa, like a slew of people, man, come through the imprint. But I learned also after the games and all that later that y'all have dabbles in the cannabis space and legal dabbles in the cannabis space.
Legal.
Yes.
Legal
So we're going to get into all that. We're going to get into the music. We're going to get into the bud and all that. But first off, we're going to start off with the basic question we do with our Music to Smoke to guests. Who is Ned?
Ooh, that's a question. I mean, I just feel like I got so many different layers, you know, and like for a long time, I just defined myself as a basketball player. I just thought that was going to be what I did for the rest of my life. Yeah. But, you know, growing up and learning and going through life and its experiences, it just taught me that it's so much more to me. Yeah. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a hustler. I don't really take no for an answer. I try to figure it out, you know, and I care about my family. I care about my team and just, you know, elevating the community. You know, so this is now 2 basketball players who are on the show. I need to have a conversation one day about the day we decided to stop playing ball. Because I remember the day I told my coach, I was a sophomore in college. And I was like, bro, I'm done. Yeah. He laughed at me. He was like, what you going to do? I said, I'm going to be a writer. He said, man, look. Right. I'm going to keep this jersey right here for you because you're going to be back. Unbeknownst to him, I started smoking a shitload of weed at that moment. So I wasn't coming back no way. You know what I'm saying? And I eventually had to do something. Yeah, I made my decision after I graduated from college. I could have went overseas and played ball, but I just saw more opportunities. I had built sort of a brand just coming up and meeting so many different people and traveling to so many different places. I knew it would all come back together, and so we got into the music business, and then from that started with the cannabis, and it's just, you know, continuing to build a brand. Yeah, you and your brother going crazy with the music, man. Yeah. We trying. It's a process. Yeah, talk to us about Good Life Music Group, man. Like, how did that come to be in the first place? And you know, we are in Atlanta, and there's plenty of labels, there's plenty of imprints, there's plenty of management companies. Right. What made y'all feel like we should do this here and we should start all this up? Well, after I graduated, you know, we sat down as a family, so a lot of the things that we do in the business that we get in together, we're family oriented. So my mom, my dad, me and my brother, we're actually a family label. We handle different aspects, but you know, we just decided we knew a lot of artists, we knew a lot of different people in the industry, so it just made sense to start a label. In the 70s, my dad had a label in Chicago, so that kind of, you know, transitioned to us being adults and just, you know, seeing an opportunity to give people a shot, you know, and allow them to follow their dreams. And if their dreams align with our dreams, it just made sense. So, you know, we just got into it. And y'all got some major hitters over there. Am I not mistaken? Was Bigger Rankin part of Good Life? Bigger Rankin is family. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he's family. Okay. So, you know, he's always gonna, whatever, you know, we can do for him and vice versa, like, it's gonna happen. So that's what's up. I actually just called him. We just had a conversation about 30 minutes ago. Man, tell Bigger to come on up here, man. Whenever. I got you. That's what it is. All right, so I really want to get into Good Gardens. I want to get into Good Gardens Farms. But before we do all that, we got to figure out when was the first time you consumed cannabis. Oof. People probably gonna be mad at me, but I went to South Gwinnett High School and behind the gym with some of the top players in the country in high school. But that was one time, and you know, I didn't really particularly have a good experience. Don't yell no names. Yeah, I'm not saying a name. You're not dropping no name, but that experience wasn't great for me, and I think when I started to begin to understand how THC and CBD marry, and you know, the components and the chemicals combine and react to your body, it's gonna always be different depending on the person. So of course. Really, after I graduated from college, I dabbled a little in college with they give us all kind of pain medicine, and 9 times out of 10 the medicine wasn't, you know, beneficial in the long run. So then that's when I started to just educate myself more on how the plant could actually help. So I would say in my adult life, really just, you know, that's when I consume most of the cannabis. Hey, I ain't mad at you. That's when you can afford it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can ask my mom for a pair of shoes, not some weed. That just don't make sense. Mama, can I get an A? Mama, yeah, please. Mama. I need it. Let's talk about Good Gardens. All right, so who in the family came up with that concept first? Like, we got the music locked down. Let's now make
weed part of the umbrella?
Yeah. We sat down. It was 2016. And we just sat down as a family again, and we, trying to determine our next step.
Okay.
Just building the brand continuously. We thought water, we thought all different type of thing, and that's also in the making as well. But cannabis was something that was going to change the industry, and being, on the forefront of that was going to, change our lives and the people that were connected to us. Yeah. I took a trip. I did a lot of research. The first trip I took was to Portland, and it was actually a company that wanted us to invest in them. But what was on the table, it just really didn't make sense. Yeah. So probably a month after I took that first trip, we just moved out there. So me and my brother, we relocated.
Really?
So I'm really pretty much back and forth.
Whoa. How you and your brother adapt to living in the Northwest?
I mean, we've been playing ball our lives. So like we, going from different cities and states and relocating, that was a part of our life already. So, when you want something, you kind of got to figure out how to go get it.
In my mind, I'm thinking Atlanta dudes
different.
Living in
so
motherfucking
but they're nice though. Like it's a different culture. I mean, I think honestly they care more about their people, in Oregon and states like that. But so it made it was a little different because here in Atlanta people care, but then it's just like when you're walking up and down the street, you don't really you might get a mug before you get how you doing. But that was a little bit of difference there. I saw so many Black Lives Matters signs and just people yards. So the culture there is a bit different.
That's crazy. 'Cause I know a lot of it was white people.
Yeah, most of them. We probably like the only black people there.
I was gonna say what I said. That was basically a fact.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a
real.
white person who was saying
real.
Black Lives Matter in Portland,
real.
most likely.
Yeah. So we just try to adapt. We figure out. We just figure it out. Yeah. You just gotta go. Sometimes when you believe in something and you have faith, you're gonna be good. It's just going through that experience, going through the journey.
Word.
And so we just took the trip and researched and found a warehouse, and it's been up ever since.
It has been. So where is Good Gardens at? I know. Is it in Portland?
It's in Portland.
It's in Portland.
Yep, it's probably about 15 to 20 minutes outside of the city.
That's what's up.
And it's a 10,000 square foot warehouse. So we're gonna have a sear green. We're gonna be doing everything from just the regular plants to the oils, the extracts, and it's a development. So it's gonna be a lot of different components that come with it. But for the starters, we're gonna be having at least 8 different strands, including strands that we're making for ourselves and artists.
I was about to say. So I already know y'all already down that road.
Yeah.
How far are we from actually the completion of the farm and the completion of the whole setup?
So September will be our grand opening.
Word.
Yeah.
Word.
So we're that close.
Okay.
It's been for the last 2 years we've been going back and forth with permits and just trying to figure out how to do it, because the information is just not. You just can't go online and just find it.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and you got to meet the right people. You got to network and you got to figure out exactly how to take the first step and then go from there. But it's been a process.
Yeah, so speak to us about that process. Like to go from the beginning to where y'all are close to the grand opening. For those who don't know how difficult it is to actually get something like this off the ground, explain to them the process of that.
It's stressful, first of all. But when you have a good support system, you really feel like you can do anything. You feel like all your goals can be obtained. But I mean, from the very first moment of us moving there and finding different warehouses and it took us probably 3 or 4 months to find the one. But when we found it, we knew that was it. And then a lot of people that started with us that doesn't look like us, they're already licensed and up and running.
Of course.
So they try to make the process a little harder, but we don't give up. And so we've had people in the process in the city halls and tell us, oh yeah, they're playing with y'all. So when you run into things like that, you have to laugh and keep it pushing, because at the end of the day, no man can tell you what you already know. So it's been an experience, but it's nothing like the music industry was an experience. You just figure it out along the way.
That's what's up. Well, congratulations on all that. When y'all go to, was it Good Gardens?
Good Gardens 413.
413. When you go to their Instagram page and you see it go from beginning to where it is now, and to know that it comes from you and it comes from your family, like that's dope as hell in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
We trying to show as many steps in the process. Like we don't show a lot, but the little small steps are just the growth. We got a cameraman down there documenting, because now it becomes a bigger story, because the people can't tell me what they just want to tell me with a camera in their face, because now we're documenting everything, because now the story got to be told. And so I mean it's been exciting, it's been depressing, it's been fun, it's been so many different emotions, but when we get grand opening in September, it's gonna be all worth it.
But I like the fact that you're really bringing in you're bringing a hip hop vibe to cannabis, and I feel like that is needed. Like I saw Killer Mike, I think, speak recently about how rappers need to be given more respect when it comes to decriminalization. I halfway agree with that. I think they need to be given more credit when it comes to making it popular enough to get legalized. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like Snoop Dogg took it way further than Cheech and Chong would ever. You know what I'm saying? I'd be 1,000 about that. But what I do want to see more is hip hop kind of hustle put to some of these businesses.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And marketing put to some of these businesses, because I'm seeing so much generic stuff come out of the lines from, and I ain't gonna name no rap, but I literally, if I see a brand called Trees,
it's like, where's the creativity?
Yeah, like this is what we doing.
You smoking it, right? Yeah, you ain't pulling nothing.
You ain't think nothing about this, dog. Y'all just really slap something on it and say, almost like how Steve Stout said at one point. I'm reading Tanning of America right now. Okay. And he speaks in there about how he's watching. He went through the whole steps. He went through a lot of steps in marketing to the point where he saw where hip hop was getting powerful. Right. And he said, I remember the time when people really thought you could just take rapper X and put it with brand Y and Z would just happen. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what we're seeing in cannabis a lot. You're taking influencer A, putting it with this brand B, and happening C is gonna happen. I'm like, somehow y'all got W. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to tell you that didn't work. Yeah. But I think what you doing, and I think that is gonna work. Like you bringing the cameras out there, y'all bringing a different vibe and a different energy to a whole different area and a whole different area of business. And that's dope.
Appreciate that. I mean, we looking at it like when we select the artists. It's a million great artists in Atlanta, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be good for the brand. Yeah. It doesn't mean that, if you're a great artist, but you really a piece of, like it's not going to work, and so that's how we're thinking when we reach out to different artists for endorsement, because that's what it's going to come to. We're going to be giving people endorsements to actually have their own strand and push it in that direction. Okay. And then we're coming with a CBD protein powder for athletes, and so the industry is going to change in so many different ways, and we're just trying to be a part of that change. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up. Atlantavis strain. We need to. Can we get that CashColor kit? Yeah. Can we do that? Can we do that? I really want to be smoking on Atlantavis one day.
For sure.
That's what. I gotta make that happen. So I think it's really dope that y'all are taking the music business. You're now dabbling in the cannabis space. Where do you see all this going within the next 10? I just always look up and I'll see Gucci Man be having ass in his videos.
You keep putting his name out there,
buddy. Yeah, and they just keep coming. Yo, so y'all got the music and y'all got the bud. Where y'all see this spanning in the next 10 years?
Just continuing to grow, being household names, and just helping the community. I think that's the most important, and providing education, because a lot of people are scared or they don't want to get in it for lack of education. Facts. So we can provide ways for people to actually get in the industry, teach them how to get their license, give them jobs and opportunities. Like that's something that we're gonna just continue to grow with. And I mean, it's really no limit as long as you know how to market and your audience.
Yes. Well, congratulations. I'd love to be out there for the grand opening, like September, you said?
Well, that's when we plant our first seed.
Oh yeah, we gotta be out there for that, bro. Like, come on, man. we gotta be.
And of course, we're also, aside from just planting seeds, we're gonna have clones as well.
Oh, okay.
We with some of the top designers, will you say, in the industry as far as genetics, because that's important. Because what you grow and what I grow, even if we grow the same seed, our environment might be different.
Yeah, of course.
So just teaching people you got to talk to your plant. You got to love your plants. Like you love it's a real relationship. So teaching people you know, outside of just putting the seed in water and figuring out from there. We want to really educate people.
That's what's up. So what's going on with the music though? Before we leave, what can we expect out the music side?
Right now, one of our artists, Law, he's on the way to Cameroon on Saturday.
Word, Law, what up though?
He's shooting a record that's pretty familiar. It's called Mud.
Okay.
He's from Cameroon, so he want to go back to the real mud and shoot the video there. He's going to be working with some of the top artists in Cameroon. That's going to be big for him. And then we also working with Bloody J. We just shot a video with him and Lil Boosie that'll be out next week.
Okay. Is Bloody J on good? He's
Good Life and TIG. So we got a joint venture.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So it just so happened that we have a relationship with TIG, with Fly and Day Day. So it just made sense to kind of come together and try to continue to elevate.
That's what it is. Ned, I appreciate you coming through and blessing us with this knowledge. I wish y'all nothing but luck with just nothing but luck, man. I want to see the best for Good Guard.
I appreciate that.
No doubt. And that's CashColorCannabis, a high level of conversation, sponsored by Fronto Republic. We're gonna take these.